everyone, and welcome back to the breakdown. Today I'm going to be talking about this, the Razer Blackwidow Ultimate 2014 Edition. Yeah, it's a little old, but you can still buy a new, and I've had this keyboard for a very, very long time, and I absolutely love it, so I wanted to do a full, in-depth review of it. You can check it out, linked down below on Amazon, and this was voted like my best keyboard, even in 2018, that you can buy, so let's go ahead and jump on into the review. So let's start off talking about price. You can pick this keyboard up for 80 bucks, which compared to a lot of other gaming and mechanical keyboards out there is pretty flippin' cheap. So that is a plus in and of itself. It also comes from a name brand that we all know we can trust at this point, and that is Razer. Those two things alone give it a good start. You know it's going to be a pretty high quality product coming from Razer, and the price is pretty affordable for the gaming keyboard space, specifically the mechanical keyboard space of $80. So really competitive there as well. Now as far as materials go, this keyboard has high quality plastic, and it's really, really nice to the touch. It's a soft feeling, but at the same time it's a hard plastic, so you're not going to be breaking it. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's sturdy and it's well built. Now I will say it's almost impossible to keep this flippin' thing clean. I have tried and tried and tried and tried and tried to clean this keyboard, and these B-roll shots have flipping grime in them because I cannot get it clean. I've taken off the keycaps, I've wiped it down really good with isopropyl alcohol, and no, nothing is getting the stuff and the gunk off of this keyboard as far as fingerprints and oil and all that stuff goes. Every time I clean it off, it comes right back. So that is an annoying thing about the keyboard. However, from a distance, it looks flippin' amazing. It's just when you get up close and are looking at it, you're like, oh, yep, there's a fingerprint. Yep, there's a little bit of fingerprint right there. And you can pick up on it. But that's really with any keyboard, but it's just something to note. It's this plastic, while it's beautiful, while it's soft to the touch, while it's very durable feeling, it does have the issue of being hard to keep clean. Now what about the switches? Well, this uses Razer's proprietary green switches, and I personally like them. Now this is Razer's loudest switch. I'll link to a comparison with the eye up there right now between the Razer orange, yellow, and green switch. When you watch that, you'll notice that the green switch is by far the loudest and kind of the most out there. Now you can get this keyboard with the orange and the yellow switches, so you do have the choice there, but this one does have the greens. It is a clicky sound, it's a loud sound, and it's satisfying. You can really feel the click whenever you're typing with the keyboard. So if that's something you really enjoy in a mechanical keyboard, these switches are probably perfect for you. The click is also a really good preamble to the slamming down of the back plate of the keyboard, right? So when you hit that back plate, it makes that big loud click noise. This keyboard isn't dampened at all out of the box. It is just key right on top of the switch. So it's loud and it's proud, and if you want that in a keyboard, this one's going to be absolutely perfect for you. However, if you're in a tight office or something like that, it can be annoying, especially if there's someone else in there with you, so do keep that in mind. It might be better to go with an orange or yellow switch from Razer if you're going with a Razer keyboard, because yeah, these can be pretty flippin' loud. Speaking of sound though, let's go ahead and do a sound test here to demonstrate what I'm talking about. It's going to be about probably 30 seconds here of just me typing with the keyboard. That way you guys can hear the sound and understand what it is before you buy it. So as you can see, that sound is pretty loud. It's there and you can definitely hear it, but it's satisfying as all get out to type on this thing. I absolutely love it and don't have any complaints as far as that goes. Speaking of typing, how do the keycaps feel? Well, all of the keycaps have a nice slope to them that make them very ergonomical to type on and all of that stuff. Now what about lighting? Everybody likes RGB, and this keyboard doesn't come with that. Thing is though, the RGB version of this keyboard is nearly $100 more expensive. So it's something we have to keep in mind here, that even though it's not RGB, we're still getting individually backlit keys with a beautiful green color all across it. You can also adjust the brightness of the keys by hitting the FN and then brightness down or brightness up key. This thing goes from absolutely bright to very, very dim, depending on what you're looking to do. If you're gaming in the dark and still want to be able to see your keys but don't want them to be blinding, the very lowest setting's perfect, but if you're in a very brightly lit area, the very high setting is perfect. So it really just depends. There's tons of different settings in between between them, more than I could even count. So LED lights are on point. Each key's individually backlit, but it's just green. It's not RGB, so take that for what you will. Now going back to kind of materials and durability, this keyboard is very durable, and I actually have two of these because I dumped water in one back in 2016. Now I assumed it was completely dead back then and went and immediately bought a brand new one, but I was wrong, and it actually still works. I plugged it back in today. Every single key on it works without any issues. That was really impressive to me. Now, it's not waterproof by any means, but I had that one experience and it did work out. It's also incredibly sturdy overall, and as you can see, there's little flex in the keyboard there, so absolutely great as far as that goes. If you were to drop it, you're probably not gonna break the keyboard in any way. You might have a key pop off, but that'd be about it. And the switches are actually rated for 60 million clicks or strokes or hits or whatever you want to call it, giving you decades of use. I mean, that is a ton of different clicks and usage of the keyboard, so this thing's gonna last you until you're probably flipping sick of it. Now, something else cool about the Razer Blackwidow is it has Razer Synapses, and specifically the 5 M keys on the side of the keyboard. Razer Synapses is great. It allows you to program these to do anything from macro tasks, including mouse clicks, by the way, so you can maybe automate doing something in a game like RuneScape, but you've not heard of that one in a while, or World of Warcraft or something like that. Or you can use it for just like Fortnite and building quicker or something like that, and being able to reach over there and slap the M3 key to build a wall and just those sort of things. You've got any number of options, and they can literally be used for anything and everything you want. So overall, what do I think about this keyboard? Well, it won my top 5 best mechanical keyboards that you can buy in 2018, and that's for a good reason. It comes at a very affordable price of 80 bucks when compared to things like Corsair's options and DOS's options and things like that. The quality overall is great, but you do have some things like it's hard to keep clean. There's some sway in the keys when you're typing and whenever you're moving them around and stuff. And at the end of the day, you could get a Red Dragon keyboard, which we will be reviewing here relatively soon, for 38 bucks. Very comparable, except it's red backlight instead of green backlight, right? So overall, it's not the best option out there, and because of that, it comes in with a 4.5. Near perfect, because I've used this thing for years and still love it and swear by it. But if you're looking for a budget option, there's a better one out there, and if you're looking for a super high-end option, there's a better one out there. Guess what? This one's middle tier, and that's why it's priced at $80. It really does make sense, but with some of the downfalls, I have to give it a 4.5. And there you guys have it, my review of the Razer Blackwidow Ultimate 2014 edition. As you can tell, I love this keyboard, but it really is an incredible keyboard, with the only downside being the kind of hard to keep clean matte finish all around it. But nevertheless, again, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you thought about this video down below, as well as any other products we should review. Again, my name is Nick, this has been The Breakdown, and I'm out, guys. Peace.